Hey guys, Randy here at BNC. You know, the Apple Watch is a great tool. When I'm away from my phone and I'm in the same Wi-Fi network, I get the text messages on it, I get phone calls on it, I get calendar reminders on it, I get reminders on it just to remind me of things that I don't want to forget. And it does all kinds of other crazy, ridiculous things, including telling me the time. One of the things, though, that I never realized it did, and I realized it did, but I just kind of ignore it, is it reminds me to breathe, which seems kind of stupid, really. If you need to remind me to breathe, then there's a bigger problem than just you reminding me to breathe. You need to be calling 911 and taking me to the ER. But it reminds me to breathe, and so most of the time it does it like 4 or 5 times a day, and I just ignore it and move on with my day. And that happened today. I came into my office and sat down and looked all around my office, and there's stuff all over the place. You know, it's been a busy last 5 days, and I've got cords laying around, I've got speakers laying around, there's mics, and there's different other pieces of equipment. There's things I need to put away, there's things I need to file, there's things I need to fix, and it's just the busyness of life. It's not a bad thing, it's just a busy season. As I'm looking around, I'm thinking, I've got to get all this stuff done, and I don't really feel overwhelmed, I just know that's there, and it's just a busy season. And about that time, I start to turn back to the task that I was working at my computer, and the watch bumps me. It says, hey, don't forget to breathe. And I'm like, I really don't have time to just sit and breathe for a minute. And it bumps me again. Don't forget to breathe. And usually that doesn't happen. Usually it doesn't bump me twice in a row. Usually it just bumps me and I dismiss it and it goes away. So I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and stop. And I'm going to go ahead and I tap the, start breathing. And it used the words on the screen of the watch. It said, be still and focus on your breath. I thought, okay, I've heard that phrase, be still, before. And I thought, okay, I'll do that. So I was still and just focused on God and focused on breathing. And I got done. And while I didn't feel bad coming in this morning, in fact, I felt pretty good, I felt really good now. Now, that was different. That was kind of cool. So I breathed again for 12 more times. For 12 minutes straight, I sat there and just kept doing it over and over and over again. And it was really a great experience. There's a passage in Psalm where David is going through, David went through all kinds of rough times and went through all different seasons of his life. But there's a section or a span of a couple of chapters in Psalm where it really focuses on David trusting God. And it's Psalm 61, 62, 63, and 64. And I encourage you to read them. But here's what this passage says, and it's in a different translation than I normally use. It's in the Message translation, and I love the language that it uses in here because it has everything to do with breathing. Take a look at it. It's Psalm 61, verses 3 through 5, and it's Psalm 62, verses 1 and 2. It says, you've always given me breathing room, a place to get away from it all, a lifetime passed to your safe house, an open invitation as your guest. This is David talking to God here. You've always taken me seriously, God. Made me welcome among those who know and love you. God, the one and only. I'll wait as long as he says. Everything I need comes from him. So why not? He's solid rock under my feet, breathing room for my soul, an impregnable castle. Breathing room for my soul. Stop and think about that for a minute. How many things suffocate our souls? Busyness of life. And there's nothing wrong with being busy. Don't get me wrong at all. But sometimes when we get so wrapped up in busyness that we don't realize how much we truly need to give our souls room to breathe. And David says, another translation uses words like strongholds and great refuge. And while those are what they are, what God is, the Message translation uses breathing room. It's almost like it's a safe place that I can go to, that I'm invited to, that God invites us into, that we can just sit and breathe and allow our souls to have breathing room. Allow our souls to sit and bask in the warmth of God's presence. Things of life will try to suffocate out our souls. Busyness does that. And maybe expectations that other people have for us try to